Well, it sounds a little like Goldilocks. We have bigger, we have faster, we have cheaper. What is the significance of this really? Because it doesn't sound like it's fundamentally different.
You know, while consumers are looking at the phones that are going to get launched, what anybody, analysts and others, are looking at is the pricing. If you look at last quarter, Apple's revenues from iPhones grew about 20%, but its shipments only about 1%. So what everyone's going to look at is what are the price levels, and there's a lot of speculation. Is the replacement for the iPhone 10 or the upgrade, is that going to be $100 less? Is the new phone, the larger version, going to be $100 more? Is it roughly $1,100, $1,095?
And how much of that's going to be decided by Tim Cook as opposed to President Trump? Because the price of those iPhones might be driven by tariffs before you get done here.
Well, for the most part, the iPhones that are there have already been manufactured and are shipped and are waiting to go out in Apple stores and in Verizon and AT&T locations.
Do you feel that the new products that they were showing there, you know, the XS, etc., 10S, XS 10S, you know the drill. Are they going to be enough to materially drive accessories, materially drive services? Because that services is where they need to be in the next 10 years, right?
Well, services is going to be a huge piece of their business going forward. As they keep offering new devices, then what you've got to expect is they're going to be building new services as part of it. The real challenge is the refresh cycle, which is when people are changing out their phones. So right now, Huawei has overtaken Apple as the #2 cell phone provider in the world. But still, what Apple is doing is they want to get it so that when you refresh, you have your new phone, you can decide between a Samsung phone and an iPhone, and you'll go with an iPhone, as well as when you're trading out. And it's the ecosystem, it's the services, it's the Apple Music, it's the video. That is going to be what's going to keep you within that whole, keep you with your iPhone, as well as huge driver of revenue.
Exactly. At this point, most people have an iPhone or an alternative smartphone, right? The question is whether they switch or not. And is really keeping, as you say, inside the ecosystem a barrier to leaving it.
Yeah, well, precisely. The idea is I've got all my music, I've got my video, I've got all of the different apps. Keeping within the ecosystem is important, and so there is some lock-in. If you're an Apple customer, you tend to stay an Apple customer.